My name is Lisa Stein. I am with the Mentor Membership. And one of the most common questions that I am asked is, how do you create a new routine, a rhythm, a habit? And depending on who you are, how you like to do things, it could look very different. So the first thing I would do is encourage you to research. Research things that look interesting to you, things that have worked for you in the past, things that have not worked for you in the past. Those are some of the things that you're going to be able to compile to give yourself some knowledge in order to really truly think about what it is that you're doing, that you need to continue doing, that you're doing, that you need to stop doing, or that you know you need to be doing, so you need to start doing it. That is being in control, right? Being intentional with our thoughts, with our actions. And I want you to think about it. Maybe when you were younger, maybe you have a child that's in a sport, some type of a sport. Maybe it's gymnastics, maybe it's karate, maybe it's playing an instrument. Those are the things that I want you to think about it, because when they first started, or you first started doing something, you didn't have it all figured out. You didn't know exactly how to do everything. But over time, right, as you practiced, you got better. You figured out the things that you needed a little bit more work on. So as you start implementing a routine, I encourage a morning routine as well as an evening routine. And I've just recently actually switched mine up. And I say a morning routine as well as an evening routine because we start our day the night before. One second. And what I mean by that is, have you ever gone to lay down in bed and your mind is just racing, right? Just busy, spinning. And you can't put your finger on that one thing that you need to shut everything off. So for me, I just recently, again, switched from doing my journaling from the morning to the evening. I journal my thoughts. No, it's not like writing in a diary. Not, oh, today was, no. But I dump my thoughts out on that page. The next thing that I do is I write out 10 things that I'm grateful for. And I say 10 because, it's usually pretty easy to write down 2 or 3. But whenever you start digging in and that 7th or that 8th, or heck, keep going, right? We can be so much more empowered when we are in control of thinking about the good stuff, because we can think about the hard things. Nothing in life was ever promised that it was going to be completely easy, that once we knew what we wanted to do, that everything was just going to fall into place. No, we're a work in progress, and so is life. But when we can be intentional, when we can be implementing some of the things that will make such a big difference, that is what does truly help us so much. So the next thing that I encourage you to do is to think about what has been good. What is it that's going good? Just write down 2 or 3 things that, maybe you're focusing on your health, so you were intentional about what you put in your mouth. Maybe you were drinking the water that you need to be drinking daily. Maybe you got a walk-in, or you went to the gym and got a workout or joined a class. Be intentional about those thoughts of the things that are going good for you. The next thing I want you to do is I want you to focus on several different areas of your life that you want to be better. Maybe it's a relationship. Maybe it's your own personal journey. Maybe it's financially. Maybe it's spiritually. If you are intentionally focused on what that looks like, you're going to start bringing in more things that you're aware of. The next thing that I want you to think about are declaration statements. Some people call them I am statements, right? I am what? Fill in the blank. Nothing can be negative on that page. I am smart. I am kind. I am funny. sometimes. What is it? I am valuable. I am growing. I am learning. I am healthy. I want you to choose the words that are going to give you strength and encouragement and confidence in what it is that you're working towards. And then the next thing that I really like to do that I implement is, what are 3 things that I'm going to focus on today? What are my 3 goals for the day? And again, it can be working towards my business. It can be working on a relationship. It can be working on my health. But write those 3 things down that you want to achieve, that you want to make happen. And then what does that look like, right? Because just because we say, okay, I want to get healthy, for example, what does that look like? What's going to get me healthy? Well, it's probably going to be drinking my water. It's probably going to be eating food that's good for me. It's probably going to be moving my body. So how can I incorporate that into my day, right? So you break down that one goal into specific actions that you can incorporate. Same thing with your business, same thing with your relationships. If you are intentional about the actions that you're taking, you're going to be much more likely to succeed with those goals. And then the next thing, I encourage everyone to think about 5 people that they can impact every day. Thank goodness with technology, we're only a text or a phone call away. We don't have to do the old school letters, but you know what? A handwritten letter is very powerful. You can do a private message on social media. You can send an email. You can knock on the door next door, right? There's so many ways that we can be an impact to those around us. And I just want you to be encouraged that you really, truly do get to do what it is that you want to do. The most important thing that we can do is be intentional about being a positive impact on ourselves, and then we're able to be that on the people that are around us, our family, our friends, our coworkers, our community. And then guess what? It becomes a ripple effect, especially whenever that really truly who you are to the core, it's genuine, it's authentic, you're trustworthy, right? And you can watch literally as you track it, because that's what you're doing. When you write down and you journal things, you are literally tracking your mindset, you're tracking your motivation, you're tracking your actions, and you're going to be able to see where you are in 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, a year, if you are mindful of it. So I want to encourage you, take these little tips from today and just implement them. You might need to go back and rewatch it. That's what I did a video for myself, so that, you know, social media is not liking the videos anymore. They're shutting them off after 30 days. So I wanted to keep this for myself. So be intentional. That's the one thing that you get to do. Be intentional on your thoughts, be intentional on your actions, and watch what happens. Thanks for tuning in. Follow along. Reach out if you would like to hear more about what this can do. I've got different communities and programs that I am implementing, and I would love for you to come and take a closer look and be a part of it.